In this video, we'll be going over the rotation functionality that is built into myCNC and the rotation widget that uses that functionality to rotate a G-code file that you have loaded into the software. And the rotation functionality is very useful in cases where, for example, you might have set some sort of a heavy sheet on your workstation, and perhaps you have set that sheet slightly asymmetrically, and you would like to adjust the cutting map to take that rotation into account. Or perhaps in another scenario, you may have some sort of the last few remaining bits of material that require your part to be, let's say, rotated or maybe mirrored to fit in your cutting map on the remaining bits of your material. And to do that, it's actually very simple. You open your program. So here I have the X1366P plasma cutting profile, and you press this button here. As you can see, it will show the rotation widget. All right, so here we have our G-code file. So this is the preview of what the file will look like. And here we have some buttons that we're going to go through just to see what each one of them does. So, for example, this one right here will rotate, or rather mirror, along the x-axis. Oops, let me go to 0. There we go. This one will mirror along the y-axis, and this one will mirror along the xy axis. All right, so next we have this button to rotate by a specific angle. So for example, let's say I'd like to rotate it by 15 degrees. And then I'd like to move it back to 0. All right, and now we have a control for machine movement. So for example, I can move it in the X and the Y direction, and our machine coordinates are going to change. So next we have the possibility of rotating the file by selecting 2 points. So for example, I have moved the machine to some 1 point, let's say 155, 491. I've pressed button number 1, so this will remember our first point. Then I can move to some different position, press 2, and after that I can rotate it by this angle. So it will calculate the angle between those 2 points. We also have a list of our previously used angles. So for example, if I'd like to rotate it back to 0, I can select 0 and rotate it back. Okay, so now we also have these 2 buttons, so we can move by a pre-selected distance rather than pressing these arrows. So for example, let's say I'd like to move 20 to the right and maybe 20 upwards. Okay, and once we have selected our angle, so let's say once again we have selected some sort of an angle, we rotate our program file by that angle, and then we can easily load it into the myCNC software by pressing this button and exiting the rotation widget. There you go. For more information on myCNC and its capabilities, please visit docs.pvautomation.com for more information.